You keep calling your exhaustion a mystery, as if it descended on you without cause. But exhaustion is not born in the body. It is born in the distance between who you pretend to be and who you refuse to confront. You are not collapsing because of weight. You are collapsing because of avoidance wearing the mask of survival. Every time you turned away from what hurt, you fed what would later consume you. You mistake absence for safety, but distance is corrosion in slow motion. You keep insisting you are tired, as if fatigue were the villain. But the body tires. The soul decays. Your tiredness is not a symptom of effort. It is the evidence of a spirit that wandered too far from its own alignment. You think you are protecting yourself from pain, but protection without truth is only embalming. You preserve what should have been touched. You refuse what should have been witnessed, and every refusal stains your interior with a silence that grows teeth. You run as if movement could deliver salvation. You hide in pace. You hide in productivity. You hide in the noise you create to defend yourself from the silence that remembers everything. You pretend that time will soften the wound, but time only hardens what is denied. Avoidance calcifies. Silence deepens. The wound you keep fleeing is not multiplying. It is maturing. You call this healing. You tell yourself you are giving it time. But healing without exposure is only a performance of recovery. You numb yourself with distraction and then wonder why the hollow keeps widening. You call your numbness peace. But peace built on avoidance is extinction dressed in calm. Nothing living grows in the dark you refuse to enter. Every distraction you cling to has been your alibi. Every numbed emotion has been a debt deferred. You think escape buys you freedom, but escape only rents temporary quiet. And the interest compounds daily. You feel it even when you refuse to speak of it. The tremor beneath your own silence, the pressure behind your own breath. You feel the cost rising. You feel the truth waiting. You keep calling your evasion wisdom. You call it space. You call it self-care. But anything used to avoid truth becomes anesthesia, not refuge. Even your comfort has become a way to sedate yourself from the life you abandoned. You wait for strength that will never arrive because strength is not built in distance. Strength is born from exposure you keep postponing. Look at your pattern. Every time the truth moves closer, you retreat. Every time pain becomes sharp enough to teach you, you run. You run as if pain were hunting you. But pain never moved. You did. Pain is not pursuit. Pain is presence. It stays exactly where you left yourself. Your avoidance is not protection. It is disintegration cloaked in discipline. You disguise decay as order. You disguise fear as structure. You disguise spiritual starvation as resilience. But endurance without truth is slow self-erasure, performed politely to avoid confrontation. You think the collapse came suddenly. It didn't. It came the first time you chose comfort over honesty. It came the day you decided numbness was safer than being alive. You mistake stillness for stagnation, but stillness is where the truth waits. Silence is not your shelter. It is your witness. It records everything you bury, and you have buried enough to fracture a lifetime. You keep insisting you are tired, but you are not tired. You are hollowing. Pain does not break people. Avoidance does. Pain is direct, even brutal, but it is honest. It does not lie. It does not distort. It simply reveals where you are still alive. It shows where the healing begins. But avoidance kills by suffocation, not through presence but through absence, not through impact but through erosion. You keep editing your own history to make it gentle enough to remember. You rewrite the sharp edges so the truth can fit inside your narrative without disrupting the illusion you protect. But a clean memory is a false one. Preservation is decay pretending to be patience. You are not guarding your heart, you are embalming it. You cloak your avoidance in noble disguises. Productivity becomes armor, intellect becomes shield, stoicism becomes sanctuary. Even faith becomes a curtain you stand behind to avoid the unbearable clarity of facing yourself. All this effort just to maintain the illusion that you are not running. You fill every hour because emptiness speaks too loudly. You stay busy because quiet threatens to expose what your pace has been hiding. You drown yourself in motion so you never have to witness the fracture beneath your own calm. You fear pain because pain destroys illusions. But destruction is the beginning of truth. Pain strips, pain reveals, pain clarifies. The brutality of pain is mercy. It returns you to what is real. But you keep choosing numbness, and numbness is the slow death of the soul. You call it coping, but it is only postponement. You tell yourself you are exhausted, but exhaustion is not the disease. It is the symptom of evasion. You have mistaken depletion for identity. You have worn fatigue as proof of worth. But exhaustion created by avoidance is not sacrifice. It is self-abandonment in motion. You ask, if avoidance multiplies suffering, why do you still run? Because exposure threatens the fantasy of who you believe yourself to be. Because facing pain means facing failure, and facing failure means facing yourself without the shield of performance. Your numbness is not peace, it is surrender. You think you've built resilience, but you've only perfected repression. You think you're surviving, but survival without truth is just a prolonged descent into spiritual collapse. The cost of avoidance has always been greater than the cost of truth. One destroys your comfort, the other destroys your identity, and you have been choosing identity decay one silence at a time. You think you've outgrown your past, but the past does not dissolve because you refuse to look at it. It waits, it matures, it gains weight. Pain is patient. Silence is archival. Everything you bury remains alive beneath the surface, shaping you in ways you pretend not to notice. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is your evidence. It marks the exact location where the healing begins. But as long as you keep retreating, nothing can begin. You're not losing yourself because of what hurt you. You're losing yourself because you refuse to face what still lives inside that hurt. Avoidance promised safety. It delivered decay. You think you are surviving, but survival without truth is suspended death. You keep calling your endurance strength, but endurance built on avoidance is only resistance masquerading as resilience. You've built a life around not feeling, and now you wonder why nothing feels alive. Avoidance is not a shield. It is a slow dismantling you carry out against yourself. You are not broken because of what happened to you. You are breaking because you refuse to confront what it made inside you. The wound is not the villain. The refusal is. You treat numbness like wisdom and confusion like fate. But confusion is simply truth, waiting to be named. You defend your wounds because they have become your identity. You fear healing because it threatens to take away the excuses that kept you safe from exposure. You want transformation without rupture, growth without cost, evolution without the violence of confronting what is false. But every illusion must bleed before truth can breathe. The repetition of pain is not cruelty. It is instruction. It returns because you keep retreating. You call it a cycle, but cycles are passive. This is a sentence. You are serving time in a prison built from your own refusal to feel. Every distraction you use is maintenance. Every justification is repair work for the mask you refuse to remove. You say you want freedom, but you maintain the walls that confine you. Pain is not hunting you. Pain is handing you the key. You do not need relief. Relief is temporary. You need rupture. Rupture is permanent. Only confrontation breaks repetition. Avoidance taught you how to survive. It never taught you how to live. You are not protecting your heart. You are preserving the wound. And preserved wounds do not heal. They ferment. They expand. They darken the entire interior of your being, until even joy feels foreign. Truth will not rescue you. Rescue implies softness. Truth dismantles. Truth strips everything false until only the necessary remains. You want truth without cost, but truth without cost is only information. You seek clarity, but clarity is not gentle. Clarity is consequence. You are not exhausted because life is demanding. You are exhausted because your silence is. You have mistaken your spiritual decay for fatigue. You have mistaken your emotional inaccessibility for discipline. You have mistaken absence for peace. You've been performing your own disappearance. Every time you said, "I'm fine," a part of you stepped further away from yourself. Your collapse did not begin with pain. It began with pretense. You've been orbiting your own life, never entering it. You want meaning. But meaning does not chase movement. Meaning waits in stillness. The very stillness you avoid because it exposes everything your pace has kept hidden. To avoidance is not neutral. It consumes, it corrodes, it collects, and the more you run, the higher the cost becomes. Your silence has been keeping the score. You are not failing because of pain. You are failing because you refuse to face it. Every delay feeds decay. Every excuse deepens the rot. You keep waiting for the right moment to confront what has already shaped you. But avoidance always whispers, later, and later never arrives. Pain is not the villain. Pain never lied to you. Avoidance did. Pain shows you what is real. Avoidance shows you nothing. It only blinds you until collapse becomes the only teacher left. You built your collapse by calling escape protection. But protection that isolates is corrosion. You say you want freedom, yet you keep feeding the chains. You think you need more time. But time is not medicine. Time is multiplication. And everything you postpone grows teeth. You do not need permission. You do not need safety. You do not need the perfect emotional climate to return to yourself. You need exposure. You need the moment where the truth stops waiting and begins speaking. And that moment is already here. You keep blaming pain, but pain is loyal. It returns you to what is real. It never disguised itself. Only avoidance did. Pain never hid its nature. Only you did. You are not tired. You are fractured from the weight of avoiding your own life. You are paying for every moment you called emptiness peace. You can end the payment by stepping into the truth you have delayed for years. Truth does not demand belief. It demands witness. You can't escape what you refuse to feel, and everything you bury continues living in the dark, shaping you in silence. But the silence is done waiting. It is no longer patient. It is no longer soft. It has been keeping the ledger, and the ledger is full. Silence collects its debt.